this Cricket World Cup League 2. As we watch one over into his second over. The second leg of Tri-Series, this one here, the first one was in Scotland, where Scotland, of course, finished on the top. But the one team from that Tri-Series, Papua New Guinea, they lost all their games over there, finished on the top. This one is helped on its way. Looking at the outfield, good fielding in the deep. Couple of runs for Stephen Bard. Bard's looking good off the back foot. Had a crunching drive to get him a boundary in the first over, and now got that pull shot away. Vanua is concentrating predominantly on that back of length line today. This one is once again beautifully played, sweetly timed through the offside. Another chase, another couple of runs. As the tournament has wore on, it looks like the players from the other countries, like not the home country USA, but Namibia and Papua New Guinea, they have started to come to terms with the pace and bounce of the wicket. See the good quality of stroke play yesterday, and today already it's not too bad. And this one to top it off, a square drive off the front foot, beautifully played. As Stephen Bard is looking in sensational touch. Width on offer through the hands and hit it square. Playing it late away from the fielder at backward point. Excellent piece of batting from Stephen Bard. He's quickly getting into his stride. As I was saying, the batsmen have adjusted to the conditions, and now we can see better stroke players. Big shot, this one. Malala shakes his head right away. It seemed with the naked eye that it hit him a little bit high on the higher side. Good comeback from Vanua, but good over for Namibia. 14 for no wicket after 3. Playing a miss from JP Kurtzer. We've seen all throughout the tournament that Pokana has the ability to move that ball into the right-hander and away from the left-hander, from left arm over the wicket angle. Skipper Wala is at slip. Slight fumble for wicketkeeper, won't cost him anything. As Kurtzer was going for the big drive. Didn't bounce as much as he expected it on that occasion. Fell way short of the wicketkeeper. Kipling Doriga. Beautiful delivery. Terrific ball from Pokana. He pitched within the stumps and Kurtzer had to play. They left him at the very last minute. Very lucky not to get an edge. Some sea movement for Pakana. This one went for the magic ball, trying to start it off midland leg. Didn't straighten and allow Kurtzer to rotate the strike. Very, very good over from Pakana has come to an end. Very testing. 15 for no wicket after 4. Worked nicely into the gap on the onside. We've seen that Kurtzer can not only have the power game, strike the ball very, very hard and long, but he also has that ability where he can maneuver the field and rotate the strike as well. Yesterday's innings was typical of that. He took his time. He built a partnership with skipper. So aborted run from Vanua as skipper Vala has removed himself from the slips. He's at the gully now. Still pretty close in, looking for that thick edge. Pretty regulation field otherwise. Beautifully played. On off his toes. Just the flick of the wrist. Bard has clearly shown that he's in the groove today. Timing the ball excellently. On each occasion, he's never tried to hit the ball too hard. He's just making sure he times the ball and place it into the gap. It's another good looking stroke. Guinea has been guilty of bowling too straight at times today, allowing Stephen Bard to work the ball onto the onside. He was very consistent yesterday, but today he has to bowl at a left-hand, right-hand combination. Yesterday he was bowling at Stephen Bard and Carl Bergenstock. Today Cutsers come out to open the innings, and his right-hand, left-hand, right-hand combination does affect the lines and lengths of the bowlers, the very best of them. So 5 overs gone here, 19 for no wicket. As we watch the background, the beautiful Broward County Stadium. The clouds are very, very high today. Not threatening at all. I think it's the best day weather-wise so far, although we've been blessed with some fantastic weather overall. As this one is angling back into the right-hander, well bowled, Pakana. Seemed as Stephen Bard went slightly around it. Swala has moved out of the slip again, short mid-wicket. Be hoping for that end drift from Pakana and hoping that Bard would hit one in the ear in that direction. Too straight on that occasion from Pakana, but failed to capitalize Stephen Bard. Another fielding change has been made. Short cover has been put in place as well. Nice seam up delivery. We're into the 6th over, so as Pakana realized that it's time to fall back to his variations, get the man catching in front of the wicket rather than behind the wicket. Seems to be working well with skipper Vala. They both come up with this plan for the second half of this power play. Five dots from Pakana in this over. But prepared to take his time, prepared to wait for the deliveries in his range. With an offer this time, but good bit of fielding at gully, preventing more runs. Just a one to finish off the over. 20 for no wicket after 6. As we watch a couple of the Namibian batsmen, they're making their way back to the main field after having had a net. We have Other fields here are part of the Broward County Stadium towards our right, where there's a couple of other cricket fields and few nets, as we see Frolink being one of them, which has had a hit. One who was still running in with purpose. It's never easy when you're in a series of defeats like Papua New Guinea has been for the past 7 games. You need some big characters to stand up and raise their hands, put their hands up for the skipper. Wanua is definitely one. Pulled his heart out yesterday and today as well, bending his back, getting extra bounce, went past the outside edge a couple of times already today. Edge, it went past Doriga to his right. Unlucky for Wanua, as has been saying, he's been bowling his heart out, bending his back. This time was able to get the edge. Flew past the wicketkeeper. Slightly wrong-footed, went to his left first before he could go to his right, and by that time it was too late. Unlucky for Wanua. Injury to insult on that occasion, as a gorgeous cover drive from Stephen Bard. No justice for Wanua there, but Stephen Bard is not complaining. He's come up with a sublime cover drive. Everything right about that shot. Playing Doriga must be feeling miserable right now. And if Bard's innings continue for any length of time, Doriga will be feeling the same for quite some time. But excellent bit of bowling from Norman Wanua. He's putting a big effort for his team. He needs the support of his teammates as well. Nicely timed once again. Couple more runs to Bard. 10 runs off the over. Unlucky for Wanua. 30 for no wicket after 7. This opening pair is complementing each other very well. The Papua New Guinea new ball opening pair. Wanua is the aggressor, and Pakana is that steady, nagging line and length, ball after ball. Gorgeous cover drive from Kutsa once again. slightly in his half, and he's ready to pounce on that. Taking opportunity. Whatever has been provided to him, he's making full use of that. JP Kurtza. Pakana's line and length has been immaculate, but you have to give credit to the batsman. Every time he's erred slightly, he's been made to make full punishment. For once, straying down the leg side, Pakana. When we talk about the PNG bowling lineup with the new ball, this opening pair from Namibia, as they made the change for this game, brought Kurtzer at the top of the innings, replacing Birkenstock, who was struggling a bit. Kurtz's form decided to give him the opportunity at the top with the brand new ball and a fresh pitch. It's the best time to bat on this wicket. Stephen Bard, who's looked good on occasions, hasn't been able to convert those starts into big runs, but part of it being that he got frustrated at one end and there wasn't enough of strike rotation from Carl Birkenstock, and today there's no such thing with Kurtzer around. Pakana, as I was talking, he's got his catches in front of the wicket. He's reverted to his variations pretty early in the piece. Easy as you like from JP Kurtzer. Single to finish off the over. 8 gone, 36 for no wicket. Would represent a very, very good start for Namibia. Couple of close shaves for both the openers. But more importantly, they're still intact. Having got their eye in, would ideally look to capitalize. This has been the story of this event generally, that there have been plenty of starts for the top order batsmen and only a few have gone on to convert them into big runs. For Namibia, Kurtzer has done that. Skipper Erasmus did that yesterday. But also Stephen Bard has had starts. You look back at the earlier part of the championship, USA batsmen, they got their starts. Marshall, Stephen Taylor, Malhotra could never capitalize and kick on to bigger totals. Aaron Jones did in a couple of games, so did Monak Patel in one of the games. But for Namibia, all they've done is to show for the 3 games. As we watch Walla to start again, once again off the edge. You'd have to wait and see if it went through the gloves of the keeper or it was a bigger deflection. Yeah, went wide of the wicket-keeper. Width on offer and flashing blade from JP Kurtzer. And him a couple of runs. Yeah, talking of PNG's woes with the bat, all they have to show in all the 3 games is 150 for Charles Amini. Nothing more than that. And that's the reason for where they are, having suffered 3 losses. Creating half a chance this morning on a couple of occasions, but not been able to take them. With a struggling batting lineup, they wouldn't like to chase anything in excess of 220 runs on this pitch. But that's for later. For now, they have a task on their hands to restrict Namibia, the belligerent JP Kurtzer. He's shown equal prowess against pace and spin in this tournament, so Shorter looking for that slider. Voila. He's got his field set with 2 sweepers on the onside, a long on and a deep square leg for the left-hander as the field changes for the right-hander. Five fielders on the offside for the off-spin of Voila. Just a little bit of turn. Ball is quite new at this stage. We're into the 9th over. So 5 overall that ball now. So we use 2 new balls at either end. 4 runs of Wallah's first over, 40 for no wicket after 9. Have to make a decision to see if he continues with Pokana. It looks like it's bowling change coming up from the top end as well. Looks like Jason Keeler. Still inside the power play with spin from both ends. Keeler has got a slip and backward square leg. Just bowling with the 1 sweeper. Both mid-on and mid-off are up in the ring, while occupying the slip. We watch the offside field. The fielders at point and cover. They're starting from the edge of the circle, looking for the full-blooded stroke, whilst extra cover just about 20 yards from the bat, cutting down the angle. Keeler has started off well. Stephen Bard prepared to have a look in. That's the full-blooded stroke that I was talking about, and fielded well. Had little bit of extra time to cover territory both on his right and left, and for the last ball of the over he's been sent back to sweep at deep cover. Yes. That short fielder was in swiftly to prevent a single of a dab. A maiden over from Jason Keela. Good start for him. The first power play is done and dusted. 40 for no wicket. Umpire Malela is signalling to the reserve umpire. Signalling start of the second power play. Wala is still keeping the field up. Just the two sweepers. Short cover and short mid-wicket catching for JP Kurtzer. This has been the end where we saw JP Kurtzer hit some mammoth sixes. The sweep, this is in the air and finds the gap as well. Good batting from JP Kurtzer as Wala has kept the field up for him. Kurtzer got the opportunity, got the ball, made sure he hit it in the gap. It went at a catchable height, but was in the gap. Those are the kind of strokes that I was talking about. He was hitting them in front of Skir the other day with the wind. This one is a flick of a wrist, maneuvering the ball into the gap. Slight hesitation. He's struggling again. Throw on the bounce. Kipling Doriga once again being asked tough questions by his fielders. You could see that Kurtzer was clearly struggling to get to his ground. It's a long throw into the wind. You have to keep this in mind. Kurtzer once again gets lucky. Swing and a miss. Went under the bat and very, very close to the off stump. That's the slog sweep I was talking, but intelligently bowled from Wala, slowing it up, throwing it right high in the air, and just a slight dip, defeating the attacking intents of JP Kurtzer. Once again, good bit of bowling from Wala, tempting Kurtzer. Seven runs off the over. The innings is gathering some momentum for Namibia. Both these batsmen started to look good. Bard has been good since the beginning. Kurtzer has took his time. He's trying to break free against the spin from both ends. Change of gloves for the opening pair. The officials today, umpire Bandekar at the far end and Vijay Malela now into his second ODI. Made his debut in this series earlier. Short, and Kurtz is disappointed. He had the opportunity. There was no sweeper on the offside. He had plenty of time. Failed to hit the gap. Played it late this time, and he made sure he found the gap on that occasion. Good bit of batting And poor bowling, it has to be said, from Jason Keela, providing opportunity to Kurtzer on both these deliveries. Got lucky on the first one, but not on the second, as this one Kurtzer make sure he played late, allowed the ball to run on a little bit further before he could make the contact. Excellent batting. 50 has been brought up for Namibia. We're only into the 12th over. In the air once again, but just fell short of the fielder. Good calling as well from Stephen Bard, helping his teammate with the run. You have to say all morning the rub of the green has been with Namibia. Survived a couple of half chances, but making sure they capitalize on this, and they've done very well so far after winning the toss. 52 for none into the 12th over. Use of the feet over the top, and it's gone all the way into the grassy banks on the far end of the ground. And as I was saying, both the batsmen have got their eye in. Bard has been looking good since the beginning, and now he's looking to cut loose. He wasn't to the pitch of it, but he trusted the bounce of the wicket, charged down the wicket, and he was always looking to hit it for 6. Never tried to keep it down, and got the result that he wanted. Well, Vala is still keeping the mid on up. He's asking Stephen Bard to go again, as this one is short. Missed altogether by Stephen Bard. It was a big shot, but Bandekar said nothing doing. Very expensive over once again came to an end. 11 of the over. Partnership is growing very nicely, and as Kurtzer is going to take singles, and Bard has been the aggressor today. A long on and a deep mid wicket. The sweeper's on the on side, long off. The one on the off side. Knocking the singles very, very nicely. The opening pair, and whenever they do get a chance to free their arms, they've capitalized on every opportunity provided to them. Oh, excellent delivery, and he's knocked him over. For a moment I thought it came off the hands of the keeper, but it brushed the off stump on the way, dislodging the bails. A very, very good dismissal for Papua New Guinea, as the dangerous JP Kurtzer walks back. Nice flighted delivery, a bit of drift, a bit of turn. Superb delivery from Jason Waller, and you can't blame Kurtzer for that. Sometimes you have to admit it was a very good delivery, and the dangerous Kurtzer has been dismissed. Big wicket for Papua New Guinea. 60 for 1 Namibia in the 13th over. change in the batting order for Namibia today. Williams has walked in. Williams batted at number 6 yesterday. Williams going to take strike. Voila has got a very, very short mid-on. He's bowling right arm round the wicket. That's very interesting. Never seen like this. I mean, I've seen it when bowlers are bowling over the wicket, but in the follow-through, he might end up right next to him or onto the danger zone, as umpire's been pointing out to him. Voila has got a very straight mid-on and a short mid-wicket, and himself bowling round the wicket. In his follow-through, he ends at a handshaking distance from Charles Amini, who is the one who's been placed at straight mid-on. Taking a leaf out of the book of Erasmus from yesterday, as Voila finishes off a very good over. 2 runs and a wicket off it. 60 for 1. 13 overs gone. The battle resumes between Jason Keeler and Stephen Bard, as skipper Voila has sent the long on back on that occasion. Last over, Keeler got hit for 6, and Voila still kept the mid-on fielder up. Not for this over, as delicate dab from Bard to get Williams back on strike. Keeler, who bowled a maiden over to begin with and then went for 12 runs in his second over, will have a chance to make a comeback against Williams. He's also getting slight drift, but he's bowling pretty quick. As we saw when Voila flighted that delivery, he got the purchase out of the wicket. Big shout. Par Williams shakes her head. That one once again seemed to be coming in with the arm, missing the stumps. Quicker through the ear once again from Jason Keeler. Williams taking his time. Off the mark now. Two of the over, 14 gone, 62 for 1. Having got the breakthrough, skipper Wallace took himself off now. Charles Amini coming back. Charles Amini has had a patchy tournament. He's been good in patches, but on occasions when he's lost control, he's guilty of bowling too many boundary balls in low-scoring encounters. But the game against USA, where he bowled consistently well, he was very impressive. Generally, he's been bowling from the top end of the ground. He's come on to bowl from the pavilion end. Start off well. Dropped a couple of balls on length in good areas. Bit of extra bounce, as you would expect with any wrist spinner. They'll get extra bit of purchase as compared to the finger spinners on any given surface. So it's a very, very important spell here for Papua New Guinea from Charles Amini. Dipping full toss. Williams missed out on that. A maiden to start off from Charles Amini. .62 for 1. Namibia. As we've seen on many occasions, that a fall of wicket does slow down the run rate, and it's no coincidence that the wicket of J.P. Kurtzer has resulted in a couple of quiet overs. But Williams is a very capable batsman. We've seen him even yesterday when it got us little tight towards the end. He held his nerve. Looking for the reverse sweep. Big shout. Still appealing. Shake of the head from Williams. Tight towards the end. He held his nerve. Reverse sweep. Tried by Stephen Bard. Blinded by the wicketkeeper. Couldn't tell from this angle where it's pitched and where it was headed. Miss Williams, she made the call, and we get on with it. As interesting enough, having been firing the ball through to the newcomer Jason Keeler, started off with a couple of flighty deliveries this over, trying to get some purchase out of the wicket. May seems that a loss of momentum mid-innings for Stephen Bard. Started brightly, has gone into his shell a bit. Williams dances down the wicket. He didn't quite get hold of it. Just bounces away onto the fence, but good intent shown from Williams. As I was saying, that Keeler was firing them in, but as soon as he gave slight here, Williams was ready for it. Wala is still keeping the long on up, inviting Williams to do it again. In the air, just fell short of the cover fielder off the outside edge. He was looking to play it again. Good end to the over from Jason Keela. 5 of the over. 67 for 1 after 16. Now the flighted delivery. Generous flight from Amini at the start of this over. But looks like he's getting that dip right at the end with this strong breeze. Another flighted delivery, but this time misdirected. Off the inside edge, that could easily have gone on to hit the leg stump, but not to be. As I was talking about Stephen Bard, he's going through a loss of momentum through mid-innings. That phase where he's not hitting the ball as sweetly as he was earlier. The real good batsman will fight through those periods and regain it through the same innings. See if Bard can do that, or if he's provided an opportunity to do that, because a couple of bad deliveries can easily reset him again. But bowling has been good so far from Amini and Keela. Last half an hour, scoring has pretty much stalled. Williams is trying though. He's got his innings going with the boundary in the last over. Gets a single to keep the strike for the next over. 17 gone, 70 for 1. Thumping stroke through the back, offside off the back foot, but once again good bit of fielding. Couple of good pieces of fielding have helped out Jason Keela. Good rotation of the strike in this over from both the Namibian pair. As a result of which the sweeper from the offside has been brought back in. And the fielders are moving in tight to prevent those singles, but knocks it into another gap on the onside this time. Good batting. So no sweepers on the offside. 4 runs off the over. 74 for 1 after 18 overs. Wala constantly working with his bowlers. This time he's given a meanie the long on and the long off back. The sweeper back on the offside, deep cover, and one at deep mid wicket. Tip in a run from the Namibian pair. Good calling, good response from Williams as well. Looks like that the run scoring that was stalled after the loss of JP Kurtzer. Both of these batsmen are rotating the strike nicely since the last couple of overs. Keep the scoreboard ticking along. Bard would be disappointed to miss out on that one from Amini. Hit it straight to the fielder. Wrong from Amini. Single to finish off the over. 77 for 1 after 19 overs, and good over from Amini. He went only for 3 runs, 6 of his 3 overs with 1 maiden. He's put the brakes on scoring. Needs support from the other end as we watch a bowling change coming up from the far end. I think it's Legasieka, I think. Leg spin of different kind to that of Amini. Legasieka, for some reason, didn't bowl yesterday. He had to come out of the field to nurse an injury. We can still see some bit of tape on his left arm, I think, or left hand. Oh, turn and bounce. Good start for Legasieka. Good flighted delivery. Landed it perfectly. Bit of drift, bit of turn and bounce. Unlike Charles Amini, he comes really close from the stumps and bowling it just basically from wicket to wicket. So any drift or turn from that angle slog sweep off the top edge. Will it carry? Oh, good effort by Pakana. I think it's out there in the deep. Remember, he took a sensational catch in the same position yesterday. As I said, the wind is not as strong today. On the previous days, the wind would have carried it to the fielder, but it just fell right in front of him. But Siaka, with his turn and bounce, has already started to create trouble, trying to take the batsmen out of their comfort zones. In the air once again, but through the gap as Pakana leaped in the air. But away from the fielders. He was tempting for that drive. He got the desired result, but it didn't go to hand. And 4 runs to Stephen Bard. You watch once again Siaka throwing that up in the air, leaping, hoping that that will go straight to hand. But not to be. So 4 runs to finish off the over. An eventful first over from Lega Siaka. 6 of the over. 83 for 1 after 20 overs. As we've been saying all morning that the rub of the green has been going with the Namibian side today. Plenty of half chances created as we watch Williams smashes this onto the onside field. A long hop from Amini set up for him, and he absolutely clobbered that. Halfway down the pitch and stood up very, very nicely for Williams. He wasn't going to spare that. Try to push it further forward. Amini. Williams is settling in. He's took his time. Moves to 14 now. Stephen Bard inching closer to his 50. 47. Make it 48 with that single. Amini is pretty slow through the air, so anytime he errs in his length ever so slightly, gives the opportunity to the batsman. This one was fuller as Williams was once again looking to rock onto that back foot. A bit of extra bounce on that occasion. Seven runs of this over from Charles Amini. 90 for 1 after 21 as Drinks has been called into the field. Substitute from both the teams and the reserve umpire are making their way to the middle. As players take drinks, we will take a short break and we'll be right back with the action. Action has resumed after the drinks break. Siaka getting ready to bowl to Stephen Bard now. Inching closer to his 50. Siaka is posing a different challenge to these right-handed batsmen. Throwing the ball high up with plenty of revs on the ball. Looking for that one. Got it quite comfortably in the end. Played it with soft hands. As raises his 50 with that single. Now just one to go. 49. Beg your pardon. Siaka has really bowled impressively since he's come on. Once again flighting, asking questions from Williams. It's just the 2 runs off the over. 92 for 1. 22 overs, and now Stephen Bard will get a chance to get to his 50, batting on 49. He got off to a very, very smooth start. Had to struggle for runs through the later half of his innings. But to his credit, he's hung in there. Meany with the start of fresh over. Now the field is pretty much spread out. Deep cover and long off on the offside. Sweepers. Deep mid wicket and long on as a juicy full toss for Stephen Bard to give him the opportunity to complete his 50. 63 balls he took and raises his bat to his teammates. This has been one very good innings. And after contributions from his other teammates, today Stephen Bard is the one who made a substantial contribution after getting a start. Reached his 50, 5 fours and a 6. And still looking good for plenty on a very, very good pitch here at Broward County Stadium. He's given his side the platform go big as Williams is giving him company. The over rate for Papua New Guinea has been outstanding. They got through 21 overs before the first drinks break as we watch Hamini flighting the ball generously, and having had a look at Siaka from the other end, he's also trying to get that ball further up and throw it up in the air. Ask the batsman questions as 2 Namibian pair have decided to just knock the ball into the gaps for the moment. 4 runs of this over, 96 for 1 after 23. This partnership is building after a very good partnership for the first wicket between Kurtzer and Stephen Bard. I think the first wicket fell at the score of 60. Bard's inning has started with some free-flowing strokes through the offside against the seam of Norman Vanua. Continued to accumulate when the spinners came on. Siaka has been landing the ball short in this over. This time got punished. But will quickly run around for the second. As happens with the best of the leg spinners. It's very, very hard to be consistent at all times. Siaka bowled 2 very good overs. But dragged the 3 of them down in this over so far. Got away with a couple. This time 2 straight, easily walked into the onside by Williams. Another good knock from Williams after seeing his team through to victory yesterday. 21 of 41 so far. Bart looking for 2. 41 so far. He'll get it comfortably. He exactly knew how hard and how far he has hit it away from the fielder. And also, as we've been mentioning, throw coming in from that side will have to be in a strong wind. Well judged. A dot to finish off. 5 of the over. 101